Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's here to here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare Battle Build tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be going ahead and building the JS Kirishima, part of the Kongo-Class of guided missile destroyers. JS Kirishima DDG-174 is the Kongo-Class guided missile destroyer in the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force. Kirishima was named for Mount Kirishima. She was laid down by the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries in Nagasaki on April 7, 1992, and was launched on August 19, 1993. It was not until March 16, 1995 that she was commissioned. She is based at the JMSDF base in Yokosuka, Kanagawa, and as of 2014 is the flagship of Rear Admiral Hidetoshi Kawasaki. So overall, a really cool ship here. This is kind of like, I guess, the main destroyer for the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force. It is also very similar to that of the Arleigh Burke. I've really been looking at them too. I think the Kirishima is just a little bit larger than the Arleigh Burke, but they really draw a lot of similarities to it. Makes you kind of wonder whether or not the Arleigh Burke was the inspiration for this type of build. So definitely in the near future, we hopefully will see a nice redesign for the Arleigh Burke, which is a design that has been pretty outdated on the channel for quite some time. But this year is definitely a good look at what we could possibly see here for the future when we do get around to doing another Arleigh Burke. But overall, really cool looking ship, and should be an awesome addition to our Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force, which we've kind of slowly been expanding on the past couple months, and has really kind of grown into a proper little navy. So again, really cool ship, and happy to finally add it into our world. Before we go ahead and jump into this tutorial though, I do want to go ahead and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and put a small amount to the channel every month, and doing so earn a view request to your choosing every month that you're a patron. It really helps support the work I do on my channel. It's really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out. Again, link for that is always in my video description. With that though, let's go ahead and dive in here to taking a look at the JS Kirishima. So going ahead and getting started with here, we have the bow of the ship. Nothing really too fancy here. We just have our main cannon, as well as a section for missiles on the deck here right behind that. We have a phalanx system here, as well as the bridge and kind of main conning tower of the ship. We have the mast system, or the mast with all the various sensors and all that kind of stuff on it. Going back further, we have the first funnel located right back here, and on the side of the funnel we have obviously some lifeboats, and some right behind it also some missiles that can be launched, mainly anti-ship missiles. Then we have our second smokestack right here. Again, some more instruments here all the way on the back, and then we also have another Sea Whiz or Phalanx gun there on the very back there for that anti-missile defense. And obviously we have some lifeboats on the sides, some cranes, a lot of stuff nothing too fancy. On the very back we have again some more missile pods here, and then we have our flight deck that would accompany basically a helicopter to go with the ship and be used for various operations. And that's pretty much brings us to the stern, and that's it here for the ship. So overall, really cool design for it. Again, should make an awesome addition to your worlds if you're trying to build a pretty cool little Japanese modern defense fleet. But without further ado though, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our first layer here, we'll be going ahead and starting off with layer number 1. Now layer 1 is a pretty simple, straightforward layer, but before we go ahead and jump into it, I do want to go ahead and mention a few quick things. First being, if you're completely new to my BAFTA build tutorials, what I like to do for the first few layers is I like to do half on camera, half off. What this means is I'll be building the center line of the ship on camera, and then the right side. It'll be up to you guys to copy the right side over to the left side. The ship is symmetrical for the layers that we will be doing this half on, half on, half off, half on technique on, and then after that we will be going ahead and building basically the more detailed sections all together. So we'll probably go to layer 3 doing this technique, and then after that we'll be doing everything all together. So that's the way the tutorial is going to be structured and all that. In addition, if you want to build this ship in the water, you will need to make sure that layer 1 here does sit basically a block beneath the water surface. You can see here, this is the water surface right here, and you can see it sits right underneath it, and this is where our first layer, layer 1, is going to begin. So very important to make sure that's correct, especially if you're placing this in the water. With that out of the way though, let's go ahead and get started with this. First thing we're going to do is we're going to place down 2 pistons upside down. Now this is going to be the placing the pistons should be done if you are on Java. If you are not on Java, instead of the pistons, I would recommend probably just placing down 2 brick top slabs here, or you can go ahead and place down 2 red concrete blocks. The concrete blocks are a little big for what we're trying to represent here, this little bulbous bow with the sonar in it. So for me, I think that the addition of the pistons here is the kind of better design choice here, but that's again going to be kind of dependent of the use of a debug stake, which is a tool only on Java, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Anyways, around these 2 blocks, we are going to go ahead and place down acacia wood signs. So we're going to go ahead and wrap them around these 2 blocks here. This is why top slabs would also be a decent option in this spot as well. After those 2 blocks there, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of brick top slabs all the way down the center of the ship. This right here is going to be a total of 27, so 27 going back from those 2 blocks there in the front. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and then go to the third from last brick top slab, so this one on the opposite end. We're going to place down an acacia wood trapdoor to the side of it, and then we're going to place down a row of brick top slabs going forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 brick top slabs forward. With that all done, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 1 of the build. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to, actually real quick, before we do want to go ahead and also go real quick to the outside here, and we're going to go to the 7th top slab. So it'll be this top slab here, and we're going to go ahead and place down a acacia wood sign coming off it. So this is the 7th top slab from the rear, and we're going to place down a little acacia wood sign there to the side, and that'll be done there on both sides. Anyways though, after that is all done there, that is going to basically wrap up everything we have for layer number 1, and with that we'll be going ahead and jumping into layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to go ahead and place down a red stained glass pane on top of this piston here, and then we're going to go ahead and go back from the red stained glass pane with a long row of red concrete all the way down the center line here of the ship for a total of 29 blocks. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 brick top slabs and 2 acacia wood trapdoors to go ahead and bring us to the very end. Once that's done, we're going to place down a brick wall here to the side. After that brick wall, we're going to go ahead and then place down a birchwood slab like this, and then going forward from the birchwood slab, we're going to place down a acacia wood fence gate, which will open up toward this top slab here, and we're going to go ahead and then place down 2 lightning rods going forward from that fence gate like so. We're going to go ahead and then place down a brick upside down stair, and then we're going to take our red concrete and go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 red concrete blocks forward, 2 brick walls, and 2 red stained glass panes like that going forward. Once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then take our acacia wood trapdoors. We're going to place down 1, 2 on the side here on the 2nd and 3rd red concrete blocks on the front. We're going to close those so they lay flat against the side. And then taking red stained glass panes, we're going to place down 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then a red stained glass, acacia wood trapdoor here on the very end. So this right here should be a total row of 17 red stained glass panes going along the side here, and then you have your acacia wood trapdoor on the very end. After that's all done, that's it for layer number 2 of the build. Taking a look at it from up above, this is what we should have from the top-down view so far with that layer complete. And with that all finished there, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, which will be layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we'll be moving into layer number 3. For layer 3 to start with, we're going to place down a stone block on top of this red stained glass pane. Then we're going to go and go back from the stone block 2 more blocks, like so. And then we're going to go and then take our gray wool, and we're going to place down a gray wool center line going all the way down the center of the ship for a total of 28 blocks, which would then be followed by a stone block and then 2 pistons. An alternative to the pistons here would most likely probably just be using stone full blocks continued out to the back here. On this ship, there is a little bit of an angle and a little bit of a slant down with this bottom deck here, or this deck on the rear that kind of comes down from the landing pad. This could also be done with slabs, but I do recommend pistons here and using the debug stick later on to modify them. However, if you do not have that accessibility, I would probably recommend going ahead and just using stone full blocks instead of plates of the pistons. So that right there is kind of your alternative for other versions of Minecraft. With that done, we're going to go ahead and then take our pistons. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 here. Again, these can be stone full blocks. And then we're going to go ahead and then take our stone full blocks and go 1, 2, 3, 4 forward. We're going to go ahead and place down a gray wool block, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stone blocks. Gray wool, 1, 2, 3, 4 stone blocks. And we're going to go ahead and then place down 1, 2 andesite walls, and then 2 light gray stained glass panes, bringing us to the front there. After we have that done, we want to go ahead and then take our iron trapdoors and place down 1 here, and we're going to go ahead and then close them like so on the side. We'll then take our light gray stained glass panes, and we're going to go ahead and build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 of these light gray stained glass panes back. I did forget to talk about this a little bit more in detail. So the iron trapdoors here, we're going to be using the debug stick. Now this can be obtained by using the command /give @p Minecraft :debug_stick. So this command right here, by pressing enter, it will give you this glowing stick that you can see right here in my hotbar. So right here. And what we can do here is we can left click the trapdoors until we get selected open, and it should say false, and then we can right click it, set it to true, and it'll lay flat against the side there. Unfortunately, there isn't any good alternatives if you are on Java, or if you're not on Java. You can use birchwood trapdoors, or you can just disregard the trapdoors altogether. That is also a possibility for you, as the trapdoors don't really add a lot, and they're just kind of helping for a little bit of shaping on the ship, realistically. So they're not really completely necessary to the structure of it, so you can again go without those. On the back here as well, we're going to do the same technique with our 2 iron trapdoors, and we're going to go ahead and then close these with our debug tool like that. Then we're going to take our iron bars, and on these 2 blocks right here, we're going to place down 2 iron bars on both sides. And after that is all complete, that's going to wrap up everything there is there for layer 3. Taking a look at it from up above, this is what it should look like for the top-down view with this layer complete. And at this point in time, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer 4, which will be the first layer we'll be doing everything all together. So do keep that in mind. But with that, let's move on to layer number 4. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 4. For layer 4, let's get started with here. We're going to place down 2 pistons here and 2 skeleton skulls on both sides here of the pistons. We're also going to place down a stone up-down stair here, and then a item frame coming off the front of the stair, as well as a crossbow in the item frame facing downwards. After we have that done there in the front, we're also going to go ahead and place down an end rod, except we want to place down a full block and then 1 more up. We're going to delete that block, and then we're going to place down the end rod coming off the bottom of that block, so that the base of the end rod is facing upwards, like so. After we have that done, we want to go ahead and grab some polished deep slate tiles, and we're going to place down 1 here, and then a row 3 across the space here. We'll also place down a skeleton skull on this glass pane, and also on this one here, as well as taking our debug stick, we're going to right click these 2 pistons, like so with our debug stick. So we're going to left click these extended true, is what they will say. We're going to right click those, or they'll say extended false. Right clicking them will set them to extended true and get rid of that wood portion and help with that front shaping. An alternative here would be to use stone full blocks instead as an alternative. Also on these pistons here in the bow, we can also do the same thing as well if you are on Java, by just right clicking them and get rid of that wood portion like so to create our little sonar like bulbous bow there in the front. With that all done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a birch sign on both sides of these slabs here. And then going back from those, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 daylight detectors, which we'll be going ahead and turning them all forward to that bluish gray color. We're going to go ahead and then place down a stone brick full block here, and then we're going to go ahead and then place down a end rod coming off it going forward for our gun right here. Then taking our dark oak trapdoors, we're going to place down a row 3 across, then an item frame, or sorry, a daylight detector in the center, and then a dark oak trapdoor to both sides of that daylight detector. We then want to go ahead and grab ourselves our gray carpet. We're going to place down a row 3. That's going to go all the way across here. Then we're going to place down a stone block. On the sides of the stone block, we're going to place down light gray stained glass panes, and then a row 3 of stone, a second row of 3, a third, and a fourth, going all the way across like so. We'll then take our iron trapdoors, and we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 4 here of iron trapdoors, and we're going to use our debug stick there to close them so that they lay flat against the side. So just like that. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone block here in the center, light gray stained glass pane to both sides. And we then want to go ahead and place down a row of 2 stone blocks down the center and the side walls to both sides. Once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and take our polished black stone top sides. We're going to place down 2 to each side. Then a stone block in the center, a light gray stained glass pane to both sides, like so. In this middle space here, we're going to place down a row of 3 of rails that go across like so. A stone block in the center, a andesite wall to both sides. Then another row of 3 of stone blocks across. This will be followed with another stone block in the center, another andesite wall to both sides, and then coming off of this, we're going to place down a birchwood fence gate like so, which will go ahead and open up toward the wall. So like down on both sides. And then going ahead and grabbing our item frames and white beds. We're going to place down our item frame on these two sides here of the fence gate, and we're going to go and put our white beds in those item frames and turn them sideways. So just like that. And then after that, we're going to take our stone blocks. We're going to place down a stone block here in the center, and then a gray wool block. Then on the sides, we're going to place down 2 stone stairs, and then a stone full block here in the center. Now once we have that all finished, we're going to go ahead and take our skeleton skulls. We're going to place down 2 skeleton skulls on these 2 light gray stainless panes. And then the space here in the middle, we're going to go ahead and grab our gray carpet. We're going to place down 2 on both sides. And then we're going to go ahead and then place down 2 daylight detectors down the center. Now once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves our acacia wood button. And we're going to place down an acacia wood button in this space here to both sides, as well as a yellow carpet that's going to go on top of this glass pane. After that, we're going to go ahead and then place down a yellow carpet, going back from those buttons, as well as a gray carpet in the center, a yellow carpet in the center, and then a gray carpet to both ends. And then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some birchwood buttons, and going back from that yellow carpet, we're going to place down 2 birchwood buttons down the center, yellow carpets, or rather my bad, gray carpets to the sides. And then on that stone block on the very back here, we're going to place down a white carpet like that. Now after that's done, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves our end rod. We're going to place down an end rod here, and then a end rod on top, or sorry, an end rod and then an iron bar on top of that end rod. And then we'll take our debug stick. So we'll use our command that we used earlier, and we're going to go ahead and right click each one of these pistons to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion like so in the back. And after we have that all done, that right there is going to conclude everything we have for layer 4 of the build. Taking a look at it from above, this is what it should look like, and you can see you're really starting to get more of the ship coming together. But that is it for layer 4, and with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer number 5. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 5. For layer 5 to start with, we're going to place down a stone block right here in this space, and then a light gray stainless pane to both sides. After we have that done, we want to go ahead and then grab a direct wall. We're going to place down a direct wall that's going to be on the center, like so. And then coming off this direct wall, we want to go ahead and place down a tripwire hook. Now to do this, we will place down a block on top of this daylight detector, and then a tripwire hook coming off of it facing toward this wall. Using our debug stick for my Java players, we're going to left click until we get selected facing, and then we'll right click this and we're going to rotate this around until it comes off that wall. So it should look something like that. And that kind of creates our front phalanx system. Unfortunately, there isn't really a good alternative to create that gun barrel type design for non Java players. So just keep that in mind. Anyways though, that right there is going to be a row of 3 that goes across after this, and then a stone block here again in the center, and a light gray stainless pane to the sides. We're going to place down another stone block in the center, and then another stone slab to the sides. In the very center space here, we're going to place down a stone brick stair, and then we want to go ahead and then place down a skeleton skull at a slight angle on these glass panes. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 more stone blocks, light gray stainless panes on both sides, and then we want to go ahead and then place down levers on top of those polished black stone top slabs. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a smooth sandstone slab on both ends, and then a top slab there in the center. Then a stone block here, the second one back, 2 light gray stainless panes on the sides. Then we want to place down an additional 2 stone blocks down the center, the skeleton skull on top of these 2 stone or andesite walls, and then we're going to place down 2 end rods going back from the skeleton skulls. We also want to go ahead and grab a birchwood fence gate. We're going to place down a fence gate that is going to be right here on the end of the stone block, opened up toward it. And then lastly, on top of the stone block here, we're going to place down a direct wall. And using our same technique that we did before with our tripwire hook, we're going to go ahead and build off in front of it like this, and we're going to go ahead and rotate this around like so. And that right there is going to create that gun. And with that all done right there, that is going to wrap up everything that we have there for this layer, layer 5. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, layer 6. Here's again an aerial overview, but it shows right with the top from the top down view with this layer complete. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, layer number 6. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 6. For layer 6 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a smoker on top of this stone block here, and then to the sides of it, we're going to place down a skeleton skull at about a 45-degree angle here in the corners on top of those panes. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 stone blocks down the center, a stone slab to both sides on top of those blocks, and then a skeleton skull coming off the side here of that slab. We then want to place down a skeleton skull here at about a 45-degree here in the corners, like so. And we then want to go ahead and place down a cobweb right here, and a skeleton skull come off the cobweb going back. After we have that complete there, we're going to go ahead and then take our black concrete. We're going to place down 2 black concrete blocks down the center here, and then to the sides of the black concrete, we're going to go ahead and place down dark oak trapdoors on both ends. Then after we have that done, we're going to place down a skeleton skull here. And then going back to this section here, we're going to place down again 2 black concrete blocks. Again, dark oak trapdoors on both ends. And then we're going to place down skeleton skulls coming off these trapdoors. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down 1 and 2 stone brick stairs back. And then a flower pot here on this fence gate on the very back. And once you have that all done right there, that is going to basically be it for that layer 6. Really simple layer. Again, here's a top-down view. And with that, we're going to be moving into our final layers of the build, which will go ahead and just kind of complete the mass and all the top details there, and finish our build off. So with that, let's move into our last final layers. Moving into our final layers here, we have layers 7 through 13. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a redstone repeater on top of this smoker. We're going to go and separate the notches like so. We're going to go then place down a skeleton skull, and then a grindstone right on top of this block right behind that. Then we want to go ahead and take our cobwebs. We're going to go up 1 and 2. A skeleton skull on both sides of that first one we placed, or the middle one. And then we're going to go and then take our birchwood fence gates. We're going to place down 2 fence gates out to the sides of the cobweb right there. On top of that, we're going to place down a stone upside down stair. And then to the sides of the stair, we're going to place down a end rod. We also want to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull coming off the back of the stair going forward like that. And then going upwards, we're going to place down a narrow brick fence post as well as a iron bar. And we're going to be using our debug stick here to extend the iron bar in all 4 directions. So it looks like this. So pretty cool design there for it. You can also replace this with a cobweb if needed. We're going to go ahead and then place down another brick, or rather actually a end rod on top here. And then we want to go ahead and place down a flower pot on the very top here, like that, to go ahead and complete that mass. After that is done, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves a barrier block. And we're going to go ahead and place down a barrier block coming off this fence post, coming off the skeleton skull, and then on top of the repeater. We'll take buttons and we'll place them on both sides here of the barrier blocks. With that done, we want to go ahead and then take our flower pots, and we're going to go ahead and place down our flower pots, 1, 2, and then an iron bar on top of this one. Then we're going to place down iron bars on top of the skeleton skulls here, and these are going to, or actually there's going to be 1 on both sides here, and then we're going to place down a chain going up, and then an iron bar going up. And in the space here in between these chains, we're going to place down another iron bar, like so, for our antenna that you're going to stick up from there. We then want to place down 2 flower pots right there. And then we're going to place down a skeleton skull on top of this stone brick stair. With that all finished there, we're going to go ahead and then place down a barrier block coming off those fence gates. We're going to go ahead and then place down a barrier block that's going to come down from those. So like this. And then come off this flower pot here, we're going to place down another barrier block. And then 1 here on both sides of the skeleton skull. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to place down a stone button here, 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 and here. And same thing will be done on the other side. So on the top, or sorry, on the side, top, side, top. And then right there is going to basically complete that rigging. And with that, that's going to complete everything we have there for layers 7 through 13 of the JS Kirishima. And that will basically complete our design for it. Anyways, though, that guys right there is going to complete what we have here for this tutorial. If you guys do end up using this design, do I say you guys give me proper credit for it? This will be linked from the side of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you give me proper credit for it, you're free to use it for projects you guys are working on. And that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been your 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.